Hello there folks, Cranky here. You may recall last year I uploaded the first part of a build video for Lehart's Z80 membership card. You know, the little Z80 computer that fits in an Altoids 10? Yeah, that one. Well, as I was soldering it up, I did indeed solder that resistor network in backwards. I ended up desoldering it off camera and I put it back on the right way around, but I was so tired that I stopped working on it that night, so I thought I would come back to it. Well, it turns out I didn't come back to it very quickly. So when I set up to film the second part of the build, I took a look at the board under my new microscope, and I didn't like what I saw. It turns out I should have probably waited to desolder the resistor network that day, because I didn't really have the right mindset at the time, and I didn't have a good tool for what I was trying to do. Using a combination of the blue sucker and the desoldering braid, I did manage to separate the resistor network from the board and resolder it on the right way. But in doing so, I utterly ruined the board. Okay, so here we are at the bench, and I've got the board here. But let me show you what I'm talking about. Like, you can't see it from here, but I do have this nifty microscope. And so let's go over to the microscope and take a look at it. Here we go. I'm looking in the microscope. You should be able to see that fairly well. So I put this resistor network in backwards right here, okay? And these resistor networks, they have a bunch of resistors in them. They have one common pin that all the resistors have, and then all the other pins are the other side of each resistor. It's an easy way to fit a lot of resistors into a small space, which is pretty cool. But if you put it in backwards, it won't work because the common pin is not connected to the right place, so nothing works. So let me show you what happened. So it's this line of pins right here, right along here. And this square pin right here is the common pin, okay? And you'll notice it looks kind of sad here and kind of here, but let's zoom in a little bit and I'll show you how much worse it gets, okay? Okay, so now that we've zoomed in a little bit, you can see this guy right here. Like, I have just torn the living daylights out of that pad. I have no idea if there's actually any metal left under there. This has a trace somewhere, but I have no idea where it goes. And for all I know, I may have broken the trace here. And then if you look down by, so the ground pin here also, or the common, also has a problem. See if I can move that and get a slightly better angle. Yeah, you see how pitted and kind of destroyed that is? Anyway, I blew this up so bad. I put so much heat into this board. It was ridiculous. Like, I should have stopped and said, hey, you're not making very good decisions right now. But I didn't stop. And I just kept working at it because, you know, I had to fix it right now. Well, that's a bad idea. So this is a terrible soldering job and then a terrible desoldering job. So we're going to try all this again. So let's talk a little bit about what we can do to not have this happen. So I have a really cool tool. Let me put my glasses back on here. All right, we're done with the microscope for a minute, okay? But I am going to do a live desoldering here for you. And we'll just see how this goes. We'll pull this socket off because, well, if you look at it under the microscope again. So let me show you what we got here. This doodad here, I only soldered half the pins. I soldered these, but I didn't solder these. And so we'll desolder this thing and I'll show you how easy this thing is to work. Now, this thing's loud, so hang on. So the thing is, I can't fit the desoldering tool underneath the microscope very well, so I'm going to do it out here and I'm going to use these handy dandy glasses here. So we're going to wait for this thing to warm up. I've got it set to 390 and it's hitting 90 Celsius right now, so we just got to wait a minute. So we'll just wait a minute. The way this thing works is it's a soldering iron here on the end, so this gets hot, but it's also a vacuum. And the cool thing is, you use it like the blue sucker, only you get the soldering iron too. So it heats up really nicely and really quickly and then just pulls the solder out with the vacuum. And it works a lot better than trying to hit it with your iron, put enough heat in there, and then hit the blue sucker to get the solder out. Because the blue sucker gets the solder out pretty well. The problem is it's kind of big and unwieldy, and this thing has various different sizes of tips that you can use, which is pretty cool. So we're just going to use it. Oh, we're almost there. 385. Getting so close. All right. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply this to, this pin here. That is very quick. That last one might need a little bit more. And then this pin here. All right, let's see if we can separate this sucker. Might have to hit it with another pass. Yep, gonna hit it one more time. All right, that might do it. See what we got now. Yeah, look at that. Just popped right out. There you go, clean as a whistle. And if we go look back under the microscope, let's take a look and see what we notice. It's not great. Well, that didn't do a great job either. I probably needed... No, the pads are still there. I'm not worried about that. The solder mask is kind of damaged, but the pads are all still here, which is good. And it looks like that trace, that trace, that trace, that trace. I think that trace goes there. Well, this trace goes here. I'm not sure where that trace goes. Might not be connected. That might be a no connected pin. And this might be, oh, these might be connected. This is probably a 4-layer board now that I think about it. So that means that there's traces in between the layers of the board too. This is such a small board, that's probably necessary. And honestly, I'm sure I did a lot of this damage actually soldering it, because you'll notice these haven't been soldered and they look pristine. Also, you'll notice that there is a lack of solder mask right here as well. So there's that line that you can see, and then the line is the solder mask, and then underneath is just, I think, the board. I'm showing my terrible, awful work, but honestly, this is way better, and I would have loved having this thing to get wherever that guy went. Oh yeah, right here. So this is just awful. This is awful. And this did not do very well either. So I don't know. It's probably okay, but we'll see. Now, there's nothing really wrong with the blue sucker thing and desoldering braid for various uses, but it's just easy to put way too much heat into the board while fighting with a single inline or a dual inline package. And also, you can actually destroy the package by putting too much heat into it, depending on what's in there. If it's an IC or a transistor or something like that, you can totally blow it up by putting too much heat. So you don't want to do that. The desoldering station mostly just works, and I have justified the purchase to myself by recognizing that I make an awful lot of mistakes that wouldn't be disasters if I had the right equipment. So now I have the right equipment. Now, though the board that I destroyed may actually still work despite my best effort to kill it, I went ahead and ordered another kit. It's possible that I killed the resistor network, although resistors are pretty hardy, so not too worried about that. So I'm going to build the new kit up before I mess around with the damaged kit. And if I get the new kit working and I get a Z80 machine running that lives in an Altoids tin, great. I'll probably do some videos about like how it works and what it is, just to kind of show you what the deal is. It's a neat little project. And I have a giant backlog of stuff like this, so we'll do that too. But I'll circle back around. I did receive the kit. It is here. It is ready for me to record a build video. but I need a couple or 3 hours to actually build the thing because it takes a while to build, and I'm going to attempt to be more careful and less, let's say, destructive while I do this. There's really no reason for me to be in a hurry when I'm doing this, so I'll probably break it up into parts, but I'll put together one build video of it, and honestly, it'll probably be mostly sped up with me talking about what I'm doing occasionally. I don't know. So the lesson here is when I'm recording a video of me soldering, I need to worry more about the soldering and pay attention to what I'm doing and worry less about if I'm getting good content. Because folks, editing works wonders and lots of things can be fixed in post. In any case, I hope you found this interesting. If you did, please give the video a like. And if you have questions, drop them in the comments below. And if you're not subscribed, well, why not? It only takes a second, and subscribing will make sure my videos pop up in your feed occasionally. You can also hit the little bell if you want notifications when I upload or go live. With that, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.